I've heard it said hundreds, if not thousands of times over the last 35 years from woodworkers around the world. If it takes too long to set up or it's too fiddly, I won't use it. And that is where this product right here, the new fast action expandable push shoe from Bow Products, was born from. Now I helped invent this product and I'm going to give you a play-by-play on its uses. I want to start by showing you a little 30-second stinger I did as a promotional stinger for Bow Products. This is just an example of the speed and efficiency of this tool. I take it out of its commercial packaging and I make the first cut all under 25 seconds. Now right up front, let's get something out of the way. The title and the thumbnail were pretty aggressive, and that has to happen these days in order to get people to click on a video. I didn't do it on my last one. The views were terrible. Now I want to be very clear that I am not going to poo-poo on the micro jig. There are a couple things that I've never liked about it, and that's just personal preference. We'll discuss those. I'm sure it's different for other people and they do like it. So one of the things that I don't care for on a push shoe system or something that you push material through a blade on is a D-style handle. I don't like D-style handles for the one reason and one reason only. It puts your wrist in an unnatural position and it doesn't give you a chance, or gives you less of a chance, to get your hand away from a blade if something catastrophic happens. With a vertical handle, it puts your wrist at a very natural position, extending up your arm and into your shoulder. So if you're experiencing blade pinch on a 2x12 or something, that's pushing right up into your shoulder naturally like it should, and it's not stressing your wrist out. That is the only reason I don't care for the D-style handle. The other thing with the micro jig, adjusting it could be slightly fiddly, and then making sure that you're aligned with the blade through a solid body. You can't visually reference that. That's why on this one you can visually see through, or it's got kind of a hollow body, so you can see where the blade is in reference to your push shoes throughout the whole cut. And that's it. Other than that, this is a great tool in my mind. Now, I'm sure everybody has their own personal preference, and I'm not picking on anybody or micro jig. I'm sure this has saved a lot of fingers. All right, so the other thing I want to address so the comment section doesn't blow up with comments going, it's the same thing. These are absolutely not the same thing. This is a block. This is a very adjustable fast action push shoe. It would be like comparing a circular saw cutting a 2x4 to a chop saw cutting a 2x4. The 2x4 gets cut, but the tools are wholly different. And that is the difference between these two things. The board still gets cut, but the tools are wholly different. Right now, we're going to jump into some long overdue video of this tool actually working, talk about how it works. It's crazy simple, so there's not a lot of explanation needed, but when we're done with that, we'll talk about how this tool almost didn't happen. The best safety device is one that you're going to actually use. I've heard a lot of woodworkers say if it takes too long to set up or it's too finicky, I just won't use it. And that's really what the new push shoe does from Bow Products. It makes it quick and simple to set up, so it's not messing up your workflow. You can make quick adjustments as you're working through your different size parts, and you're good to go. The expandable push shoe is meant to be used all over the shop. So on a bandsaw, a joiner, a shaper, a router table, anywhere you're feeding wood through a blade, this is a great safety device. Here I'm setting it up for a quick 6-inch resaw on my bandsaw, and this is where those push shoes come in real handy. I can adjust them to exactly where I need them, and they don't move. It makes doing small resawing jobs like this a real pleasure. Keeps my hand far away from the blade, and I have a lot of control over the material. Let's run through a sequence of cuts so you can see just how quickly and easily this adjusts. So I'm going to start with a wider cut. I'm going to cut this natural edge off of my piece of alder here. Now I open it all the way up and then just push it shut to where I need it and tighten that knob on the top, and that locks it in place. Now adjusting the support guide, I'm just going to loosen those two knobs slightly, push it down to the base of the table saw, and then push it in and tighten it again. Now I'm going to make sure that my push fins are down in this case. Now what this does is give me control of the keeper side of the material and the waste side of the material, so I don't have to worry about it getting bound up, and it's easy to move out of the way quickly. Now once I have that support guide adjusted, it's really easy just to quickly adjust it to the width I need, making sure that I'm not interfering with my blade, and then I can go ahead and make the cut. Now in some cases when I'm cutting something narrow or the blade interferes with one of the feet and I need to open it up wider, I use the support guide to hover over the blade, keeping one of the feet on the material, and that works really well. I love using this thing. It's a real pleasure, and it's just incredibly fast to set up for changing cuts. Now this tool almost didn't happen. Originally I had designed this thing. Now this has got some interesting features, and like that it expands, but there's only one cross section on this. Now that was good for a lot of use cases, but there was one very large problem. When it's closed, you can see that this thing is level, it's even. When I open it, it moves down and away. Now that posed one big problem. I couldn't put push fins on the back that were all in line with each other as it opened and closed. Now this is definitely a viable product right here, but it had that one big shortfall. When we brought this idea to the table with Bow Products, which made the most sense because Bow Products is really known for their accessories around table saws and band saws and those safety features that are built into them, Bow was the right company for this. When I brought it to Bow, we took it to a couple of very talented engineers, and one in particular, Tyler, I owe you a huge thanks for making this happen, decided that it would be better to do a double cross section, because if we have a double cross section, it opens and closes parallel to each other. Now Tyler went to work and designed this so it is rock solid when it's locked down. And the other unique feature that's built into this is you don't actually, a little hesitant to say this, you don't even really have to tighten it down. Once it's on a board, it locks in place and it doesn't come in or out. So I always lock it down for safety reasons, obviously, but you can adjust this thing wherever you want, drop it down on a board, and it just locks in. So that was a really nice feature that the double crosswing added to this. So thanks to an amazing engineer, a lot of back and forthing and a lot of ideation, the fast action expandable push shoe is now a reality, and they are available to buy now. And I'll make sure there's links down in the description box. Now I want to address one more thing before we call the end of this video, and that's these right here. You guys have seen me using this for years. This is just a single regular old push shoe, and it still has a place on my table saw, and I'll be using this for different cutting scenarios. The one major drawback of a push shoe like this, and I have seen it from pros and amateurs alike, a lot of folks don't know how to properly use this. And I know that's going to raise some questions, so let me explain. Now, if some of you have seen the video I did on this like 8-9 years ago and the video I did on it 4 years ago, you can skip this little part. It's only going to take a minute to explain. The way that most people use a push shoe, whether it's a vertical or a D-style, is they put it right up next to the fence and they push their material through. The biggest problem with that is when you're pushing it up against the fence, the blade is putting pressure back this direction. And when you're far away from the blade, it wants to push the material away from the fence when you're on this side of it. And when you have pressure here, that can lead to kickback. Now, the proper way to use a push shoe like this is to imagine a center line. So from the blade to the fence, that center distance, imagine that on the board, and your push shoe should be positioned to the left of that center line. That keeps the pressure as you're moving through it, pushing into the fence and not giving it the chance to go away. Now, this does work when you're really giving it a lot of goomfa to hold it in position, and that's why you've seen it work for a lot of people. But that is why a lot of kickbacks happen that don't need to happen. If you're properly positioned past the center line of the material, you're going to have a lot less of a chance of kickback. Now, the other issue that arises here is stability. You need to have good stability when you're doing that, because the last thing you want to do is have your hand fold over, especially towards the blade. And that is where this little guy comes in handy, because you are automatically adjusting it to be that side of the blade. Gives you more surface area contact, and it pulls the handle away from the fence, putting you more towards the center line. Is there still a place for this in the shop? Absolutely. I'm not saying that there isn't, but I'd be willing to bet you'll see me using this 99% of the time. The stability, the extra footprint, the really comfortable handle. This is just a home run in my mind. Now in the shop, I keep two of these. I keep one with a support guide on, one without a support guide. When I'm doing wider stock and I want to get it up close to the blade, it's nice not to have to take the support guide on and off. I really hope that you guys found value in this tool and you enjoyed the video. There's links down in the description box below. And I want to mention that we have more content coming that aren't review videos. The last two have been, and you'll probably see some more, especially as we're developing more and more products for bow products and for Swan Tool Group. So it definitely makes sense for me to share that with you guys. But we do have some great build projects, how to get more out of your tool projects coming. It won't just be all reviews. So thanks again for watching. Links in the description box, and we'll see you in the next video.